Men over 60, a urologist reveals to simple nightly vitamins that restore lasting firmness. Gentlemen, let me ask you something directly. If you are a man over 60, have you ever felt that frustrating gap between what your mind wants and what your body can actually deliver? It's that quiet, nagging fear that maybe, just maybe, your days of lasting strength, confidence, and reliable performance are behind you. For years, most men have been told to just chalk it up to aging or declining testosterone. Or worse, they've even sold the idea that magnesium is the magic answer for everything from sleep to vitality. But what if I told you that advice could be dead wrong? A groundbreaking 2023 study analyzing data from over 12,000 men revealed that for many, taking magnesium at night doesn't fix the root cause. In fact, it can interfere with the very hormone rhythms your body needs to restore testosterone and circulate. Iron while you sleep. This is exactly what happened to Robert, a 74-year-old patient of mine. He had spent hundreds of dollars on supplements that did nothing but drain his wallet. Yet, once we focused on correcting to specific, inexpensive deficiencies at the right time, he experienced a complete turnaround in his energy and firmness within just 6 weeks. I am Dr. Audrey Wells, a urologist with over 25 years of experience. Today, I'm going to cut through the noise. I will reveal the two simple vitamins that, when taken correctly, can wake up your body's natural drive. Before we begin, if you have ever felt like you're fighting a losing battle against time, type yes in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because what you are about to learn could change everything. Alright, now let's get to the heart of the matter, the solution you have been waiting for. But before I reveal the two specific vitamins that can make such a profound difference, we first need to establish a crucial foundation. We must understand the real problem we are trying to solve. Because I can tell you with absolute certainty, the real issue for most men over 60 is not a simple lack of magnesium. It is something much more fundamental. It's the gradual, almost silent decline of three critical, interconnected systems in your body. I call them the three pillars of male vitality, and they are your circulation, your hormones, and your nerves. And here is the critical mistake I see countless men make day after day, year after year. They focus on just one symptom, a single branch of the problem, like poor sleep or feeling tired. And then they take a supplement like magnesium to try and fix it. But that approach is like hearing a persistent rattling sound in your car's engine and simply turning up the radio to drown it out. You are not solving the root cause of the problem. You are only masking the symptom. That temporary fix does absolutely nothing to address the real, underlying reasons your body isn't performing the way it used to, the way you remember it could. For lasting, meaningful results, the kind of results that restore confidence and strength, we have to look deeper. We have to address the foundation itself. So why are these three pillars so vitally important? Let's break it down piece by piece. First, and perhaps most importantly, we have circulation. Strong, healthy blood flow is everything. It is the river of life that delivers oxygen and nutrients to every single cell in your body. For firmness and performance in the bedroom, for energy levels throughout the day, for cognitive function and brain health, it is non-negotiable. The key player in this system is a remarkable molecule called nitric oxide. Your body produces it naturally. Think of it as a signaling molecule. Its primary job is to tell the smooth muscles in the walls of your arteries to relax and open up, allowing blood to flow freely and efficiently. The problem is, as we get older, our body's natural production of nitric oxide declines significantly. It's a well-documented part of the aging process. Less nitric oxide means your arteries become tighter, stiffer, and less flexible. And that leads to weaker circulation, not just in one area, but everywhere in the body. The second pillar is hormones. And when we talk about male vitality, we must talk about testosterone. It is, without a doubt, the master hormone of what it means to feel like a man. It fuels everything from muscle mass and bone density to your competitive drive, your mood, and your desire. But the science on this is crystal clear, and it's a reality we must face head-on. Numerous studies, including long-term data from the National Institutes of Health, show that after the age of 40, a man's total testosterone levels drop, on average, by about 1 to 2% every single year. That might not sound like much, but over a decade, that's a 10 to 20% decline. By the time a man reaches his 60s or 70s, his levels can easily be half of what they were in his youth, often falling below the optimal range needed to support reliable, consistent performance and overall well-being. And finally, our third pillar is the nerves. Your nervous system is the body's intricate communication network. It is the wiring that carries lightning-fast signals from your brain to every muscle and organ. Years of accumulated stress, a diet high in sugar and processed foods, or even certain common nutrients. Deficiencies can dull the these sensitive pathways, they can slow down the signal. This is precisely why many men I speak with describe their physical responses as feeling muted or delayed. The wiring is still there, the connection still exists, but the electrical signals have become weak, like a low-voltage current that can't quite get the job done. Now, this isn't just my opinion or a passing theory. This is based on decades of solid, verifiable science. Peer-reviewed studies published in the world's most prestigious medical journals, like the Journal of Urology and the New England Journal of Medicine, consistently show that these three systems, circulation, hormones, and nerves, are deeply and inextricably interconnected. You simply cannot fix one without supporting the others. They work together as a team. To put it simply, think of your body like a classic car that you want to keep running smoothly for decades to come. Taking magnesium for a single symptom like sleep is like changing the oil. It is useful, certainly. It is a part of good maintenance. But you cannot just change the oil and then expect the engine, which represents your testosterone, and the complex electrical wiring, which represents your nerves, to suddenly work like new again. It's an incomplete solution to a much larger, more complex problem. This is the very reason why so many good men feel so frustrated. They keep changing the oil, yet they wonder why the engine is still sputtering and the headlights are still dim. They are, with the best of intentions, fixing the wrong problem. So instead of applying a temporary patch, our strategy must be to provide the raw, essential materials to rebuild all three of these pillars from the ground up. We need to give the body the specific tools it has been missing, the tools it requires to restore its own powerful, natural function. And that entire restorative process begins with our very first vitamin, which we will discuss right now. All right, let's dive into our first powerful solution. The first nutrient that directly supports the pillars of vitality we just discussed is vitamin D3. Now, here is a critical mistake that millions of men make every single day. They hear vitamin D and they immediately think of one thing, bone health. We have been told for decades that vitamin D is for building strong bones, and that's absolutely true. But it is a dangerously incomplete picture. Thinking that vitamin D3 is only for your bones is like believing that the engine in your car is only there to make noise. You are missing its primary, most powerful function. This widespread misunderstanding is a key reason why so many men remain deficient, and as a result, they unknowingly sabotage their own strength, energy, and hormonal health, wondering why they feel so run down. So why is vitamin D3 so much more than just a bone vitamin? The answer is fascinating. It comes down to how it functions on a molecular level inside your body. Biologically, vitamin D3 doesn't behave like a typical vitamin. It acts more like a powerful steroid hormone. After you ingest it or get it from the sun, your body converts it into its active form called calcitriol. This active form then travels through your bloodstream and binds to special docking stations or receptors that are present in nearly every cell in your body, including the cells in your brain, your muscles, and most importantly for our conversation, the Leydig cells in your testes, which are the primary factories for testosterone production. When vitamin D3 locks into these receptors, it sends a direct signal to the cell's DNA, telling it to turn on or turn up the genes responsible for producing testosterone. If your vitamin D3 levels are low, that signal is weak. It's like a whisper. The factory operates at a fraction of its capacity, but when your levels are optimal, that signal is strong and clear. It's a command, and your body can respond with robust, healthy hormone production. This is the biological mechanism. It is why a deficiency in this single nutrient can have such a cascade of negative effects, from low energy and muscle loss to poor mood and weaker performance. And this isn't just a theory. The scientific evidence is overwhelming and conclusive. A landmark study published in the journal Hormone and Metabolic Research in 2011 provided some of the clearest evidence to date. Researchers took a group of healthy, overweight men who were participating in a weight reduction program. They gave one group a daily dose of approximately 3,330 TU of vitamin D3 for a full year, while the other group received a placebo. The results were astounding. The men who took the vitamin D3 saw their total testosterone levels increase by a remarkable 25%. Let me repeat that, a 25% increase, just from correcting a single nutrient deficiency. This and dozens of other clinical studies have firmly established the direct, undeniable link. Low vitamin D3 levels in men are strongly correlated with low testosterone. To put this in the simplest terms, I want you to use an analogy. Think of vitamin D3 as the key in the ignition of your body's testosterone factory. You can have a perfectly good factory with all the workers and machinery ready to go. But without the key to turn the ignition and start the engine, nothing happens. The entire production line sits silent and dormant. That is precisely what's happening in the body of a man who is deficient in vitamin D3. So how can you incorporate this into your routine safely and effectively to turn that key? It's incredibly simple, but the details matter. First, the dosage. For most men over 60, I recommend a daily intake of between 2,000 and 4,000 international units or IS. Second, and this is crucial, is the timing. You should take your vitamin D3 with your evening meal, preferably a meal that contains some healthy fats like salmon, avocado, or even just a drizzle of olive oil on a salad. Here's why that is so important. Vitamin D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin. This means it needs fat to be properly absorbed from your digestive system into your bloodstream. If you take it on an empty stomach or with a fat-free meal, you could be wasting most of it. Taking it with dinner ensures it gets absorbed efficiently. Furthermore, this timing makes it available in your bloodstream during the night, precisely when your body's natural hormone repair cycle kicks into high gear, typically between the hours of 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. I want to share a quick story that illustrates this perfectly. I had a patient, Robert, a 74-year-old man who came to me feeling utterly defeated. He told me, with a heavy heart, that he felt like his life as a man was simply over. When we ran his blood work, it was no surprise to find that his vitamin D levels were critically low. So we started him on this exact protocol, a simple, inexpensive vitamin D3 supplement with his dinner each night. 6 weeks later, he returned to my office, and he had tears in his eyes. He told me, "Doctor, it worked. I'm waking up with firmness again." I thought I was finished. Just this one simple change, turning the key in the ignition, was the first critical step that started to give him his life back. So if you have learned something new and valuable about vitamin D3, do me a favor and type the word key in the comments below. It lets me know you're getting this. Now, let's move on to the second crucial nutrient, the one that acts as the fuel for the engine. Now that we have the key in the ignition with vitamin D3, we need to add the second, equally crucial element. We need to put fuel in the tank. And that fuel is the essential mineral zinc. And right away, we run into a very common mistake. Many men either completely overlook the importance of zinc or simply assume they're getting enough from their diet. They might see it listed as a minor ingredient in a multivitamin and think uncovered. But this can be a serious miscalculation, especially for men over 60. The modern diet, high in processed foods, often lacks sufficient zinc. Furthermore, factors like stress, alcohol consumption, and even certain medications can deplete your body's zinc stores over time. Underestimating the vital role of a single mineral is like assuming your car can run on fumes. It might sputter along for a while, but eventually it will grind to a halt. For optimal performance and hormonal health, we cannot afford to just guess. We must be intentional. So why is zinc so absolutely critical for a man's vitality? Let's look at the science. It all comes back to that testosterone factory we talked about. Your brain, specifically the pituitary gland, acts as the factory's command center. When your body senses it needs more testosterone, the command center sends out a messenger hormone. This hormone is called luteinizing hormone, or LH. LH travels through your bloodstream down to your testes, carrying a very specific message. Start the production line. Make more testosterone. But here is where zinc plays its starring role. Zinc acts as the catalyst, the spark, that allows the factory workers, the Leydig cells, to receive that message and actually begin the process of converting cholesterol into testosterone. Without adequate zinc present in those cells, the message from the brain arrives, but nobody answers the phone. The command is sent, but it is never received. The production order is issued, but it cannot be fulfilled. A zinc deficiency, at its core, creates a critical communication breakdown in your body's hormonal chain of command. This is precisely why men who are even moderately deficient in zinc often experience a direct and noticeable drop in testosterone levels, leading to low energy, reduced drive, and weaker physical performance. And this isn't a discovery. This has been one of the most well-established facts in men's health research for decades. A foundational study from Wayne State University back in 1996 looked at a group of older men with an average age of 64 who were marginally zinc deficient. The researchers measured their testosterone levels, then supplemented them with zinc for 6 months. The results were nothing short of profound. On average, the men's serum testosterone levels nearly doubled, rising from a low of 8.3 nanomoles per liter to a much healthier 16.0 nanomoles per liter. And countless studies have confirmed a simple, powerful truth. Correcting a zinc deficiency is one of the most reliable and effective natural ways to support healthy testosterone production in men of all ages. So let's return to our car analogy for a moment to make this crystal clear. If vitamin D3 is the key in the ignition that gets the engine ready, then zinc is the high-octane fuel in the tank. You can turn that key all you want. The lights on the dashboard can flash and the engine can turn over. But if there is no fuel in the tank, you are going absolutely nowhere. The two must work together. They are partners in the same essential process. So how do we ensure the tank is full? How can you use zinc correctly for maximum benefit? The protocol is very specific and simple. First, the dosage. For most men, a daily dose of between 15 and 30 milligrams of a quality zinc supplement is the sweet spot. Less than that, and you may not see the desired results. Taking significantly more than that for extended periods can sometimes interfere with the absorption of other important minerals like copper. So it's best to stay within this effective range. Second, the timing. This is just as important as the dose. The best time to take your zinc supplement is approximately 2 hours before you go to bed on an empty stomach with just a plain glass of water. And here is a critical note. Do not take it with dairy products like milk or yogurt, or with coffee or alcohol. These substances contain compounds that can bind to zinc in your digestive tract and significantly block its absorption, preventing you from getting the full benefit. Taking it alone before bed allows for maximum absorption and ensures it is readily available in your system. During those peak nighttime hours of hormone production, let me share the story of William, a 68-year-old man who came to my office with a look of deep discouragement. He told me, his voice low, "Doctor, I just feel like less of a man." His energy was gone. His erections were unreliable and his mood had hit rock bottom. We had already started him on the vitamin D3 protocol, and while it helped, something was still missing. That missing piece was zinc. We added this exact nighttime zinc routine to his regimen. 3 weeks later, he called my office, and the change in his voice was palpable. He said, "Doctor, I woke up this morning and I felt like my body was mine again." His energy was back. His confidence was soaring. He was living proof of what happens when you put the fuel back in the tank. Has this powerful combination of vitamin D3 and zinc surprised you? If so, just type the word "surprised" in the comments below. It helps me understand what information is most impactful for you. And now, we need to talk about what to avoid. Because even with the right key and the right fuel, you can still sabotage the entire process, all right. By now, you understand the incredible power of using vitamin D3 as the key and zinc as the fuel. This simple two-step nighttime protocol is the foundation for restoring your vitality. But even with the right key and the right fuel, you can still inadvertently sabotage the entire process. And this brings us to a critically important topic: what you should avoid taking at night. So let us talk about the 3 types of supplements you should never take in the evening if you want this protocol to work. The biggest mistake I see well-intentioned men make is believing that when it comes to supplements, more is always better. They buy a handful of different bottles, read that they are all good for you, and then, for the sake of convenience, they swallow them all at once before bed. This approach, while seeming efficient, is a major pitfall. It completely ignores a fundamental principle of human biology, and that is this: timing is not optional. It is essential. Your body is not a simple machine that accepts inputs at any time. It is a highly sophisticated organism that operates on a precise internal clock. A clock that we call the circadian rhythm. So why is taking the wrong supplement at night so detrimental? It's because your body is designed for two distinct phases. The daytime is for action, energy production, and stress response. The nighttime is for rest, repair, and regeneration. During those precious nighttime hours, your body initiates a cascade of restorative processes. Growth hormone is released to repair tissues. Your brain clears out metabolic waste. And as we've discussed, your testosterone production hits its peak. When you introduce certain substances during this delicate repair phase, you can disrupt these natural rhythms, effectively canceling out the benefits you're working so hard to achieve. And the science on this is incredibly robust. Decades of research in the field of chronobiology have demonstrated how sensitive our hormonal systems are to external cues, including the nutrients we consume. A 2019 meta-analysis published in the journal Nature Reviews Endocrinology compiled data from numerous studies, confirming that the timing of nutrient intake can significantly alter hormonal secretions, including those of cortisol, insulin, and the sex hormones. Taking a stimulant, or even a nutrient that upregulates daytime processes, at night can send a confusing signal to your body, disrupting this finely tuned biological orchestra. To make this clear, I want you to think of it with this analogy. Taking these specific supplements at night is like throwing a handful of sand in the gears of your body as finely tuned, high-performance nightly repair machine. The machine is designed to run smoothly, to rebuild and restore you while you sleep. But when you throw sand in the gears, the whole mechanism grinds, sputters, and ultimately fails to do its job properly. You wake up feeling less refreshed, and your long-term progress stalls.
Under a microscope,
so let's get specific. Here are the 3 main culprits you must avoid in the evening. The first is vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is an excellent antioxidant and fantastic for your immune system during the day. However, some research suggests that taking high doses of vitamin C at night can potentially interfere with deep sleep quality for some individuals. More importantly, it is slightly acidic and involved in metabolic processes that are more aligned with your body as daytime function. For optimal hormonal rhythm, it's best to save your vitamin C for the morning, when your body is primed to use it for protection and energy. The second, and this one is a major offender, is B-complex vitamins. This includes B6, B12, and others. B vitamins are famous for being the energy vitamins, and that is exactly what they do. They play a critical role in converting the food you eat into usable energy. They essentially rev up your nervous system. Taking them at night is like drinking a cup of coffee before trying to go to sleep. You are pushing the accelerator at the exact moment your body is trying to hit the brakes. This can lead to restlessness, difficulty falling asleep, and a night spent tossing and turning, which is the absolute enemy of hormone production. B vitamins are your morning and early afternoon friends, never your nighttime companions. The third thing to avoid is any supplement with hidden caffeine. You would be shocked at how many supplements, especially those marketed for energy, fat burning, or performance, sneak caffeine or other stimulants like green tea extract into their formulas. Even a small amount, like 50 milligrams, which is about half a cup of coffee, can be enough to disrupt the initial stages of deep sleep and weaken your natural hormone cycle. Always read the label of any blend you are considering if it contains stimulants. It is for daytime use only, period. Let me tell you about David. He was a 72-year-old man who came to me feeling completely hopeless. He told me he hadn't experienced a true, strong morning erection in over a decade. He was discouraged. He felt ashamed. He had tried the expensive prescription pills, but they just gave him headaches and made him feel disconnected from himself. We looked at his routine, and sure enough, every night he was taking a multivitamin that contained B vitamins and a Men's Vitality blend that had hidden caffeine. The very moment he stopped taking those at night and stuck to only our simple vitamin D3 and zinc protocols, everything changed. For the first time in a decade, he saw real, tangible results. It wasn't about adding more. It was about taking away the things that were getting in the way. It was about removing the sand from the gears. We have covered a lot of ground together today. So let's quickly bring everything into a clear, simple focus. First, we learned that magnesium, while useful for some things, is not the primary solution for restoring male vitality. Second, we established that weak performance is often your body as critical warning sign of deeper issues, like poor circulation and hormonal imbalance. And third, and most importantly, we uncovered how the simple, science-backed combination of vitamin D3 and zinc, taken at the right time, provides your body with the exact tools it needs to begin its natural, nightly repair process. But remember, knowledge without action is just entertainment. It's what you do with this information that truly matters. So here is your simple 3-step action plan for tonight. First, take between 2,000 and 4,000 IUs of vitamin D3 with your evening meal. Make sure that the meal has some healthy fat in it for absorption. Second, about 2 hours before you go to bed, take between 15 and 30 milligrams of zinc with a plain glass of water. And third, take a look at your other supplements and move anything with vitamin C, B vitamins, or caffeine to the morning. Keep your nighttime routine clean and focused. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Doctor, I'm 70 years old. Is it too late for me? Or this just sounds too simple to actually work. And I want you to remember the story of David at 72. Age is not the enemy here. Deficiency is. Fix the deficiency, and the body has a remarkable ability to respond, to remember how it's supposed to perform. Trust the process, and understand that this journey, it isn't just about intimacy. It's about something so much bigger than that. This is about waking up in the morning feeling strong, feeling capable, and feeling confident in your own skin. It's about having the physical energy to keep up with your grandkids, and the vitality to live your life on your own terms without limitation. That is true independence. Your future future self, the stronger, more vibrant version of you, is counting on the choices you make today. So if you are ready to take back control of your health, I invite you to join our growing community of men who are committed to doing the same. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss our future science-based strategies. And just as importantly, go to the comments section right now and write to simple words. Day 1, this isn't for me. This is for you. It's your public commitment to yourself. A declaration that today is the day you start. Thank you for investing your valuable time with me. In our next video, we will discuss one common food, likely in your kitchen right now, that could be silently draining your testosterone levels. You will not want to miss it. Until then, I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, reminding you that your greatest strength is in your knowledge.